go into for investigate the issue of prerogative of mass use, the president they say now these people they don't pardon today, now they're criminal, they don't pardon this them, so on and so forth. So those are the things we do not do. But we do stand at an advantage against the normal courts or the traditional courts. One, in the sense that we deliver justice in the shortest of time. As you know, litigation is very expensive, or the case then go to court very expensive. But when you come to the office of the Ombudsman, we services then are free of charge, similar to that of the Legal Aid Board. Anytime, anywhere, as long as you come with a complaint over which the Ombudsman gets a mandate, we they investigate and come to you back with whatever outcome we get, free of charge. You know, they pay 1 cent. And how we also get an advantage over the court, we get what they call ADR mechanisms, or alternative dispute resolution mechanisms. And these then are things that way normally you know defend the traditional court. So we can use the law empower we for use mediation. That is, if two people get issues, we'll put them together, we try for mediate between them. We also get the issue of the alternative dispute resolution mechanism of negotiation. We also get conciliation. So these are things, or these are tools where the Office of the Ombudsman can use without necessarily resorting to litigation, without necessarily going to other things where if you attend the national court.
Is litigation an option for now?
No, it's not an option, but interestingly, so most times we want for me and take litigation issues on something, we refer them to either Legal Aid Board or the ministry.
So if you take an issue, you look and you decide, say this one require litigation, you go now pass over to the other institution.
To the necessary institution.
You mentioned, say, as a public defender, you do look into either there's maladministration, especially when it comes to, for example, services between the citizen and the state. If EDSA light, because then they're very current, but in facility in a house, you say EDSA send a bad lights, that facility they get problem. They can cancel you for complaint?
Well, ma put on this way. Now, the one way they don't go abroad, I know someone don't go abroad. In overseas, the UK and US, they get specialized ombuds institution or ombudsman's institution. So, for example, you get ombudsman institution where they deal with all the hospital or medical issues. You get ombudsman institution where they do with utilities, including. Now. Okay, and that's it. So we get a national ombudsman. We all letting them come under. So. The issue of service delivery of EDSA is a very tricky question. If recently we hear somebody, one picking die in a hospital, we hear some people who said unborn.
Correct.
They could come with such a complaint. But in the interim, what we can say, we mandate now for provide solution to you. One, you get somebody where they listen to your complaint. Two, somebody where they take action for your complaint.
So whose kind of action you will take now?
So we just go refer you to the necessary, but you go get, Mr. Chairman, Adikam, you go get issue, for example, if EDSA can't tell me, say, of course, we don't hear over there, they say, one, I not get sufficient money for buy light. Or number two, we get people the way that they thief electricity massively, so we don't get money for buy light. So for me, for more recommend solution to that problem, now the same defense or excuse that they can't give you.
Okay. So
they make will not solve your issue. So it's just like the same thing.
No, I just again, my goal there normally enough for let the public understand, and I can try sometimes to just break and through. And I really appreciate the ombudsman for say that at the end of the day, the solution they not just say, oh, because you get problem. They go attack the institution. Like I say, they think about it holistically and look at the context and consider all the circumstances as well and for seek solution. So I want to tell you thank you for that really comprehensive update we don't provide, that people don't understand the role of the governments, of the ombudsman of the Republic of Salone, and that it did it for you as a citizen. Now, one of the people that the Ombudsman mentioned say they work with, now the legal aid board. I they call her Auntie Fatmata, Claire, Carlton, Hanciles. And as I say, no need introduction. You don't lead the legal aid board in a salon for a while. You don't provide leadership on many, many issues then for advance, particularly justice for the poor. So I give 7 minutes to give family updates. Who we day on legal aid, what's in the current landscape? And the question who puts at the press conference is justice available for the poor?
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Minister. We're happy for there. And as you say, legal aid is a household name. We Legal Aid Board in 2012, now Parliament passed the Act. 2015, it began for work. As Sidona they talk now, legal aid data in all districts. We also then at chiefdom level. And we get 24 lawyers where they chase the Black Mariah, where they turn the jails around. We they give legal education, legal representation, we they give legal advice, we they do ADR. We get 2 types of mandates. Now a board, because they get a regulatory aspect for all organizations where they operate in legal aid services. So inside the justice system, we sit down in the middle, you get the law office, you get the courts, you get the legal aid board. And the legal aid board now for the poor man, they set out than the poor man, the way they get the minimum wage. Or if they get above the minimum wage, you get trouble, you're able for do your business, or then suspend you by work, or you're able for do what they do, you for also come to the legal aid board office. And the poor man, he get lawyer. Maybe I not elect for talk about myself, but I'm happy to say I've been getting the opportunity with the experience from the special court as the principal defender for pick up legal aid. Even before I accommodate them, they approach me for caretaker. So the model we put into place, we get full-time lawyers. We posse no need for pay and government no need for pay on a case-by-case basis. Because we find out, say, in a lot of countries around the world, you get for pay people per hour. So it break the legal aid bank. So a lot of people are able to get justice. But what do? We make with lawyers they're all full-time. So they're able to attend to police station, they're able to go to courts, they're able to go to community. We do mobile clinics, we do under the trade discussion, we do focus group discussions, we do seminars, we do workshops, we do community and town hall meetings. We get over 300 partnerships. Civil society organizations, they all register with we. People the way they give legal aid, or way they talk about law business, or way they settle cases, they all they work with we. In fact, for we in communities, a lot of people, their own point of interfacing with government, they are working the talk case, na them village, na them barry, the government office with them Sabina legal aid board offices. The one that we are justice promoters. So we they work with a lot of people, and I'm happy for talk say now we don't reach the stage where Foday College are making for teach paralegal studies. And then the legal aid board they begin for do certification as we they go. Just a quick medical and dental association where you get the pharmacy board. You get pharmacists. So now so you forget legal aid people in between. There are rules and regulations. So they happy say the education don't begin and it go cascade to constituent colleges and universities around the country. As I sit here, we don't get legal aid to over 2 million. 2 million Sierra Leoneans. And that is a record number. So in June last year, the General Assembly of the United Nations invites me for go New York and for go brief them on how far we don't go and our successes. And that they encourage other governments then through UN policies for make sure say they try for establish the acts. The legal aid acts are the same one with the Canada and the South Africa, a number of countries. So a lot of other countries are now taking up the concept. After the war, waiting people find out was the jails then be over full. When legal aid begin, we put some man at jail wait on there for 10 years. He never come on do. And the story goes on. So we don't reach the stage now where even with the civil, we do settle a lot of cases and we help the courts then for cut down on the number of work we then get for do. So we civil law in all our offices is done through the ADR. We get panels, and in those panels mix lawyers, non-lawyers. Because in Sierra Leone, we don't have what they call high-cost cases. We don't get shipyards, we don't get them big industries. Which we get in Sierra Leone, now then land dispute, family dispute, personal issues. Sierra Leone a third world country. So it's a bit easy for we able for settle and cut down on cases where they go court. For instance, land dispute, if you're not an expert on land, there are two types of disputes as far as land concerned. The one we concern title, we get for do with the Ministry of Lands. Would I get this land? Would I get this land now in two aspects? Sometimes the person we buy them from, you know, get title, or sometimes the one we inherit them from, not to you left them from. So in a lot of instances, would I get title? We say now you get title, you will not get title, which is that person where you pay, we give money to let returner. So a lot of those cases now are not going to court. Before legal aid started, they chap people then a land, kill people then fet. Now everybody goes to the legal aid board because they encourage people then say, justice is accessible, justice is there. We know they take money. We they work for ally and I be this wall and next wall, and we're using the law. So we've gone a long way with that. We cover the juvenile homes, the DEMPs, and we cover the jails. In the jails, the largest offenders are larceny, thief man. So we talk to parents, we talk to people, when a men when a picking and let them know the thief. The second largest again, fraud, obtaining by fraud, fraudulent conversion. Then you get violence, section 1820. So man, they in office for settle dispute, for go fet. And the other major issue where we don't begin forget now the drugs-related issues. As I've been just talk to the minister, say we're happy with His Excellency don't launch this initiative, and we have Professor Sahr. We're going to work with him, the IG, because all these people are our clients. And in those jails where our lawyers are faced with a lot of issues, then they try to get them away from the jails and away from drugs. So, Mr. Minister, when it comes to the issue of women, in fact, the UN Women, the study we model, for the first time in the history, we have opened accounts for over 1,000 women. We not be ever get accounts. Also, man then, we for pay maintenance for picking, they go pay money until they picking 18. And we are also encouraging those women, don't empty their account. Some of them can say, oh, that man, they don't go to other women. So this they go buy clothes na Kisi Street or where. So we encourage them, don't empty their accounts. Even at 50,000 every month left and day. So, Mr. Minister, over to you.
Thank you so much. I really want for make sure say Fambulem understand this news, some of this information we just hear about the transformation we don't happen since 2012, particularly when it comes to legal aid. It said 2 million Sierra Leoneans don't get free legal aid. It means thousands of women where in the past they not begin no way for compel their husband them for let them pay family support, but they don't support them, open accounts for them, and through the accounts then they compel their husband them for take care of them, picking them. So Salon may not be perfect, and I know people like doom and gloom. Me on job na for counter the doom and gloom, but we get structures the way they function, and like I say, even at the highest level at the United Nations, and they study of the leadership we Madam Carlton Hanciles don't do, in the structure in the institution we don't set up in a salon for provide legal aid for Fambulem. I'm glad we end with offenses, because it's a very good segue to the next speaker. When I all know, say a few weeks ago, it pleased His Excellency the President for declare Salon that we get a public health emergency. The President say we need to tackle this emergency head on. For do that, he set up a national task force. He also directs that governments for put to attention for defeats drug and substance abuse, particularly the Kush Crisis, where, you know, I can say social media people their memory short, so Just 2 weeks ago, they post every day, and they tag with this country. Oh, they don't care about this. You know, the leadership of Professor Foday Sahr, and I see Mr. Kaikai there, and the rest of government, the leadership of His Excellency and this team we put in place, quickly, when I jump into action, the government jump into action, we see some major things, including the town hall will be host. It brings the entire government together. And since then, I don't see with military-like precision, because this man, some people don't know, saying a former general as well. You don't bring can together different pillars, a clear national strategy, a clear goal for really once and for all defeat this Kush epidemic we get. Professor Foday Sahr, I want you 10 minutes because I want to let you, because this now a matter which relates to a national declaration with His Excellency make, for let you provide an update to the people of Salone. Since the declaration, waiting don't happen, waiting.
Thank you, Honorable Minister, for inviting me to this forum. As you rightly say, I don't come alone, I come with all my pillar leads, so I come highly protected with pillar leads. So I'm glad the way you asked me for get an update from the time where His Excellency the President set up this task force and where he appoints me as national coordinator. Following the guidance from the Interministerial Committee, the task force being able to establish a lean but very robust structure. And immediately after that, we go up country, all the 16 districts, for do what we call a scoping mission. That now for actually identify the resources we are available at each district, and for actually talk to the district leaders and for know the magnitude of the Kush problem at the community level. After that scoping mission, we established for ourselves certain goals. And then goals were established for ourselves as a task force. One, now for make sure say we reach 70% of community nationwide with information on Kush. The second goal was set up for ourselves now for reduce youth drug abuse by 80% in the first 1 to 2 years. And three, we want to establish at least one treatment center and 1 or 2 rehabilitation centers in each of the districts within the next 1 year. And four, we want to make sure say we support at least 70% of individuals who are in the past through this program for make sure say they go back to school or we integrate them at the family with their families or get them to work. And the last one, but not the least, we want to make sure so we reduce the availability of Kush by over 80% within the first 1 year. The structure of the response, based on, again, the advice of the Interministerial Committee, where the Honorable Minister, a member of that committee, the structure is in such a way that we get the president up there, then we get the Interministerial Committee, and below the Interministerial Committee, we get the National Coordination Committee, where me, the national coordinator, and we get a 24/7 situation room. That means anything will happen at the country, we reported at that situation room there, and the appropriate person will go at task for take the necessary action on that. And then we actually operate on 5 pillars based on the declaration of His Excellency the President. And then 5 pillars them. One, now public information and risk communication. This particular pillar, now the Ministry of Information and Civic Education, together with the Ministry of Health, now then the leader pillar. And the main work now for make sure so they conduct nationwide campaign for increased access to accurate information on dangers of the use of drug or Kush. And the second pillar, now community engagement. This pillar is led by the Ministry of Local Government and Community Affairs and the Ministry of Health. The main work now for make sure so they engage all community leaders and groups for make sure so we deliver all the activities of the response. And additionally, they work now again for gather and channel community feedback for inform with response. The third pillar, now care and treatment. The Minister of Health and the lead this pillar, and Minister of Social Welfare, the co-lead. The main function now for ensure the availability of treatment programs for substance abuse disorders. Then secondly, now for make sure to then conduct testing for identify the active ingredients of the kush. One, make sure we do that nationwide. Some work be done in a free tongue, but unfortunately the school. One thing we want to emphasize now, district leadership. One thing we want to emphasize now, district leadership. The district level response, it will be led by the district council chairperson or the mayor where appropriate, and the officer. We don't want to create a new structure. One ride on the existing structure so that even after the expiration of the task force, the activities will continue. Then moving forward, the task force will prioritize the following in the next couple of weeks. One, launch a national campaign. One, disseminate accurate information on kush, its dangers, and the available services. The second one, on a campaign, one, make sure that the campaign targets frontline responders, families, and young people, and also for conduct a knowledge, attitude, and practice survey for gauge the effectiveness of the campaign. The second one we want to do is treatment center expansion. The Honorable Minister of Social Welfare been done do something where you don't graduate the first 40, and we want to applaud them for that. So what we want to do, want expand what you do for at least, for the next couple of weeks, let's start up at least one center in each of the regions. Then we can actually expand on that. And thirdly, post-treatment opportunities. One, make sure we map and secure resources for recovery of them people them who would take into then center them. The Minister of Social Welfare, Minister of Youth, and Minister of Technical and Higher Education then will collaborate for offer options like return to school package, skills training, and job placement. And they're very, very close to the Honorable Vice President. Anytime we'll meet, he'll emphasize on that. You know, just take them, people them out, you know, get a program for them. And the last one, for strengthening drug control laws. My colleague here don't do a lot of work on for see how we can revisit some of them drug laws, some of them very old because they find them ridiculous. So we will work with the Office of the Attorney General for make sure some of them laws we'll review them. Partner support, I want to end with partner support. Partner support, very important. Please for inform this body, say we don't get the cooperation of partners both in country and outside this country. They have been very supportive since the declaration by His Excellency the President. A recent visit by the Minister of Health and myself to US CDC and State Department of Health will yield a lot of positive outcomes. We're able to secure the following. For assess the magnitude of the problem, the US CDC agrees that we work with we for can do an epi study so that we will identify the magnitude of the problem in this country. This now it came out from the meeting with me and the Honorable Minister of Health go to US CDC. Also, they agree say they will help for provide you with testing strips. Where you use the urine, you test this, the person urine, you will know say this person don't take drugs. So the third one will then say they will help you with educational materials. The educational material that will be provided, then the Minister of Information and Civic Education, they will adapt them for your environment. And fourthly, then say they will help you for collect, ship, and go analyze all the samples that we will collect from all parts of this country so that we will know the active ingredients of the substance, because definitely it vary. The composition of Freetown will different from the one at Kabbalah or the one at Kailan or the one at Moyamba. And last but not the least, eventually then say they will help you for establish your own testing lab in this country. So those are the good things that came out of that meeting who go na US. In conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, I want to say if we all put hands together, we'll be able to fight the challenge of drug abuse and make sure Sierra Leone be a brighter nation for all. I thank you, Honorable Minister.
Prof, you get clap all. Normally, people don't clap now. But most no say family appreciates the thorough nature of the updates. And I can like point out, say, while some people, and we appreciate where the activists, they go on social media and tag and complain. But after that, the work will be required for be done. People in the way they do that work there. And we too just hear now that while enough people like say this issue they trend anymore, the government, through this structure we don't put in place a very comprehensive set of strategies and actions, and we don't begin for implement. Now we ministry, we come to the public education side, we get NDLEA, we get other structure, the Ministry of Social Welfare, we all they come together, we all committed to the same thing. We now for finally put an end to this unfortunate crisis in our country. And I think, say, if Fambul and us be the one that waiting government they do on Kush, today, Professor Foday Sahr don't can give we a very clear set of updates. Which I go also commit for do as usual. Now that these updates we don't give for do, use that scanner there under, you send a question online, or you text 818 to AfriCell QCell. By God power, next week we go down finalize the orange as well. All network, you text 818. They can write now on my iPad and I ask the question for you. But we'll give you the mic. Now one question. Rules. Not so. I need to make society functional. All right, let's see the hands. Good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Lord cancel. Next round we'll cancel the one. All right.
Well, my name is Mohamed Dauda Kamara, the writer for Daily Scope newspaper. This question actually they go to Professor Safode. On Sunday, I do one in Kaningo. There is a place called Rehabilitation Center for Kush addicts. Them. I discover say most of the Kush addicts are within the place, they chain them foot. And according to my questions,
Change what?
then they chain them foot.
Or they chain them, okay.
Yes. So they chain them foot, and I asked them a question. One of the people already take care of them. They say that for restrict the movement so that it will less the intake of the drug. Now that's they tell me. And they can chain them foot for about 1 to 2 months before them free them. So my question is, you think say this is not the right approach for actually minimize the intake of drug or any substance abuse in the country?
Thank you. Number 2.
My nomenclature na John Kelly Mara at the report for Daybreak newspaper. Professor Foday Sahr, please, you go tell me how much people are under a Pankush and how much they are the rehab centers for now?
Thank you. Next.
Yeah. My name na Mahmoud Silla from the Nature newspaper. Okay. Mr. Ombudsman, you say, let's say somebody get picking, he fail for take responsibility of a concern for Ombudsman. I want to know, let we turn this to the government. Government around the world get the responsibility for its citizens. Is there any law that says if government fail for provide education for its citizens, then can take that government to court?
Okay. Good. The ombudsman a lawyer, so not bad. We'll allow the answer. All right, next. Udana be number 4. Now, intellectual honesty again. If you know to be 4, you put your hand at the vex.
Yes.
4.
Asang Beshikuruma Concord Times.
Yes, sir.
The question they go to Legal Aid Board. We want for know provide legal service to over 2 million people. How many of their cases and they will not win? And if one will not win, unaki ever provide or unaki will ever appeal any case where the Legal Aid Board no win?
Thank you. Number 5.
My name is Suleiman Jallo Expo Times, the legal lead for the trial for reduced cases in the court. And you and I know when somebody get a problem or an issue with somebody, they first go to police. And with police, they charge in a court, then they go. Which means legal aid get for use for withdraw that case from the court and try on your own side them. Thank you.
You understand the question? Because me not fully understand the question. But I understand the question. So, and since I get the question, so you know bad. Yes, okay, so you see, you know bad. No worry. And Fatmata go answer. All right, so we get a few questions. First for you, Professor. This question about mode of treatments and whether, I think what I'm going to add to that question is whether you job or within this structure, because it's something myself curious about, whether we they prescribe acceptable forms of treatment or rehabilitation, and also whether we they regulate, because you get people the way they grab one door and then one. And then secondly, this question about the data and stats on death and other things. And so why don't you do that quickly?
Thank you very much. For the place where is it at Benghazi, you know, we know we are farm, but definitely as an institution, we government don't put together now, we know say we're not going to do everything. So they want them way, the private people, them way they do their practices, them, I should say we'll get for reach out to them and make sure so we regulate them. Because we get prescribed ways for handle them people, them, you know, for treating like criminals or whatever. So we'll get for work with them very closely, map out who side and they, then the Ministry of Social Welfare, the Ministry of Health, then we'll work with them for make sure say we'll bring them on board and give them the best practices how for handle and case them. On the number of deaths since the establishment of this task force, we not get that kind of baseline data. However, the admissions between 2020 and 2023 of drug abuse cases or drug-related cases, we find out for say it don't increase by over 1,800%. And the Kush specifically, the number of admissions based on Kush at the KC psychiatric home, it don't increase by over 3,000%. So definitely the number of admissions for drug-related and Kush-specific is on the increase. And for, I think, then the admissions, as I say, the Ministry of Social Welfare currently, they don't discharge about 40. In the next 1 week or so, they're going to taking another 60 to 70. And in the next couple of weeks, as I say, the treatment center, they would stand up one in each of the regions. So would they work towards standing?
All right, thank you, sir. Ombudsman Mark, on to you next. The question really now about this, I think that the judiciability of education rights, and so whether, for example, now rights now constitution say picking and get right for access to education, but they ask whether the person who enjoy rights day, if he can't complain to you or if law day. So maybe just clarify that briefly.
All right, thank you very much. Sierra Leone Constitution not provide for the justiciability of rights, and these rights for be enforceable. So for example, like in the Constitution of South Africa, certain fundamental human rights are enforceable. I mean, you can take government to court because of that. Unfortunately for us, we do not have that in our constitution. Now, no, please, we do not have enforcement of those rights as a justiciable right. Now, how do we come in as ombudsman? Now we get mandate over MBSSE and Ministry of Technical and Higher Education. So, for example, we have these issues of where students or pupils have been denied exams or for MEWAEC open portal, and we don't get complaints of where they say WAEC not agree for open portal. So they don't come with them complaint until we have done that complaint. We have referred them to the ministry, and we are waiting for WAEC respond to the complaints. And we wait on that. And after that, whatever the complaint is, we confront the parties, and then we start our investigation. So that's how the ombudsman come in. For say ombudsman will provide, say, yes, the law empowers you by the constitution for enforce what they call these rights. No, you can take them to court. But just like in the South African constitution, where it is mandatory by the government to provide them, they are social goods. It's human rights. Education is a human right, but it is not spelled out outrightly as you would have, for instance, in the South African constitution, where the courts will listen and then they will be litigated upon because government fail for provide education for its citizens. So that's basically I could answer.
Thank you very much, Ombudsman. Legal aid, I think you had a couple of questions.
Yes.
One about data.
Amos case we don't win.
Win, and then whether on the appeal, and also whether on the appeal and
whether we the
appeal are available here. And the second one, you know more understand now.
So the number of cases we legal aid or win, it's a jigsaw puzzle. For criminal, about 30%, because most of the one they defend, then guilty. Then thief man, armed robbers, highwaymen, all them kind of rogues and vagabonds. The one that we full up na then jail that they tattered and torn human beings, we not get nobody, and then legally they team up for. So a good number of them, Panami thieves, big, you know, that kind of thing. So na me chook, na me kill, those kind of people. Even the wretched of the earth, now make the scheme day. So in criminal, we lose most of our cases. And so Boku my lawyer, they don't come more courts and they're around. Yes, they're asking Poel because where would the whole team meetings say this particular period, me I not get better than me court, all man go down. That's a beer. But then in criminal, in civil, we get over 70% because we take cases for women and children, for people who don't get money, for people with a disadvantage in property, and for those industrial matters, now we're not the lawyers for Labor Congress, all the unions in the country. So for those really where the advantage inside a workplace, inside a home or property or that kind of thing, we succeed in most of those cases. So for reduce this man, the person and we are on appeal, cases from Chernor, other parts of the country where the court of appeal. We not get choice. We just get for the exhaust the tiers of the justice system. Because in some instances, some people that have been, when they don't feel guilty, we now feel say them people then they for go down for that length of time or they for finding guilty. So definitely we did in the court of appeal. For the other question, where nobody not be understand, but where me understand, is say for cases, they say we the try for reduce backlog na the courts. So what about cases that we then at court if we're able for talk there? Well, we case go na court, we're not supposed for talker because it don't go now na the main institution. But it will surprise you that even the judges, then they send cases then to legal aid. Magistrates, then they send cases to legal aid. Because some of those cases, you know, see aid, they not see tail. So until witness is not boku. Maybe you know they're too long at the court, the parties are there, witnesses are not there. Then we say, okay, before you they can't waste your time before me, you're not able for satisfy waiting the law. Say, why you not go legal aid? So we are like the final bearing ground for cases in the justice system. And the police are also doing it. And again, what make her happy for legal aid, a lot of women in marriages. My man don't beat me. I don't want to go police. Then we say, I care and picking go na police. But let the person can legal aid board. So we are in that middle position. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Next round. We'll focus on this side now. Journalists enforce. 1, 2, 3. You know, compromise journalists. 3, 4, 5. We can Lord, the journalist, you own question, they ask them directly. Yes. Well, Nayanda, no, bien, not, yeah, bien, yes, yeah.
Mohammed Lamin, Banya from AYV. My question to go to the ombudsman. I want to know what thing I keep to them, what you do identify for your role as ombudsman, and how you plan for address there. And same also, what's where you don't envision for leverage technology for improve the efficiency and effectiveness of your office. Thank you.
All right. Number 2. Number 2, no member yourself. Okay. Would they jump you?
This Minabokari Kama are the right for the New Storm newspaper. Madam, this is not for you. I want to know if you lawyers then get they help and in this present treason matter where they go on, because the 8 accused where I see one time they do cross-examination on Ion. So I want to know if when our lawyers then they involve into this treason matter.
Good question. Thank you. Number 3 on this side is supposed for the.
Mina Makiem Jalo, writer for the Times SL newspaper. I want to reiterate on the question from the Minister of Information to the Ombudsman on this electricity issue. In that side, when the minister asks, we not still get a clear answer, and we need a clear answer towards that. If EDSA give you bad light and poor property them, in poor property, we as citizens, we get any rights for meet the ombudsman for report EDSA and waiting at the action for the ombudsman, because we don't see EDSA, they arrest people with a thief light. They get power for that. So wait now your rights. If they give you lights, we
okay,
forget
2020.
Thank you, sir.
Next. Number 4.
Yes, me na Bobodan Kamara are the rights for New Citizen newspaper.
Tolombo.
This question are for you, my good friend.
The paper name, Sabia.
Okay. The question I want to ask you is couple of weeks ago, the main opposition party called a press conference where they update members of the public, say ECSL they yet for publish documents the way the tripartite committee asked for. And series of newspapers have done write series of articles that say up till now ECSL not able to produce the documents the way they ask for. So from the side of the government, because since the last time I engaged, we not hear anything from my own part in relation to this. So I want to waiting on our effort we don't do for see how best we go to law ECSL for comply. If at all they don't comply, if they don't comply, one for no waiting at the documents they don't already turn in. Thank you.
Number 5.
Good afternoon. My name is John, and I want to ask question to national coordinator, because they ask the question but not be able to answer to me. But I want to ask them back. And we want to know how many people are affected within a treatment center. Then how much they don't well, and how much we don't get. So please.
All right. Then are the last one for these rounds. Let's see how we do, and then maybe we'll get another extra final rounds. Okay. So we'll start with Ombudsman now. Ombudsman, the one who you keep priorities and how you address them and how you incorporate technology into you. And then your other question, we don't go back to EDSA. Look, not to an illegitimate question. Not to, I really appreciate that citizens they ask this question. I don't talk and very clearly say my commitment to that government will be responsive. And this press conference will be substantive. I will ask tough questions of governments. Now when I get government, when I'm supposed to hold it to account. That's why we create this platform. So I appreciate that question there. The question now that if, let's say, forget EDSA, if any other institution of government do something we injure citizen, somehow, you lost in property or all because of the action or the inaction, waiting at the power of the citizen for seek redress. I guess I want you to answer that question broadly, and then we take it from there. So now your question, and then we'll come to legal aid.
All right, thank you very much. I'll start with that last question there. For citizens or members of the public, we don't be aggrieved with the administrative decision or omission of public officials or public institutions for EDSA or any other institution. So like I say, if not so like you property bond, you get a cause of redress. Yes, if you know one go court, you can come with such a complaint to the Office of the Ombudsman. And the Office of the Ombudsman, what do they do? First of all, we are independent arbiter. We don't say independent, you know they for this, you know they for that day. You they come with the complaint, we look at the merits of the complaint, and then sure say it fall inside we mandate. So now man will say if in property bond, obviously we go, just like I tell you, want provide solution. But already EDSA don't tell we say now XYZ. Make lights the we don't sometimes the and the transformer overpower, don't burn your property. So we go make the complaint on to EDSA, we tell and say XYZ we don't recommend this. But how you for enforce that recommendation? So perhaps we go say go to legal aid board, offend lawyer, we go enforce that recommendation for ensure say then pay compensation to you. You understand? But you can come with a complaint if the administrative actions or inactions injure you as a citizen, you can bring such complaint to the Office of the Ombudsman. Right. But the excuses or the defense are already there in the public domain. So our duty is to provide solution to that. So when the excuses are available, how do we go around that? That's what I am saying. Okay? And somebody also asked, say, waiting are we priorities now the Office of the Ombudsman. Now, well, for me now, just three priorities. One ensure, say, Ombudsman continue to be a credible and respected institution. So one thing we don't see over the years, we want to see the Office of the Ombudsman, people then get confidence in the Office of the Ombudsman. We read one publication, some people say the statistics where they conduct the survey say the confidence where people then get inside the judiciary, for instance, don't reduce. But where people then get confidence, for instance, inside the Office of the Ombudsman, then go increasingly go to the Office of the Ombudsman when they get complaints, rather than taking the laws into their own hands. So one of my own strategic priorities, or our strategic priorities in the Office of the Ombudsman, are for ensure, say, we get a credible and respectable institution. So number two, another thing we want to ensure is to make sure, say, we improve accessibility and visibility of the office. In fact, what it make you they see with the go now all majority of the MDA there, and for make sure, say, we take the message of the Ombudsman to the doorstep of the people. So perhaps the resources not there for make adverts, for make jingles, everything. So the best way you can contact the people without money is to go and meet them. Hold meetings with the staff, hold meetings with the management, and tell them what and what they should do and what they should not do. So that's why we have been engaging on. And like I say, lastly, waiting the Ombudsman office don't usually be known about. And the fact say, where government will come and get problem, a go lay complaint to the Office of the Ombudsman, they forget the fact of the members of the public. So it's not only about government will come. So member of the public, anytime the actions of a government institutions or government official injure you or affect you in any way, you can resort. So the login with power, so for example, where NRA go refuse for they delay for make tax refund, or where institutions then where they grant licenses to, for example, mining companies, or that thing, they refuse for do or then delay, or they refuse for give people their rights, so they're waiting they're entitled to. Those people can come to us and file a complaint with the Office of the Ombudsman. So that's what we do. And lastly, because of time, another person asked, how would they use technology for leverage? How would they leverage technology for improving efficiency? Of course, this is not it. This is not a wall of technology. So for me, the social media has been helpful where there is not enough resources for. So now social media, you can use that without money. All you need for you get enough people in a group where they expand your message. And that has been very helpful, especially Facebook and WhatsApp. They carry your message far and wide. Well, for the one they read. But what about the people they read? So we want to use technology for increase with jingles, for make sure say we get leaflets or these printouts on social media and other media handle for ensure say we spread the message of the Ombudsman, because one thing, you cannot claim your rights if you do not know them. So we have to advertise our services, we have to bring it to the doorstep of the beneficiaries, and we have to ensure that one, people and get trust in the institution of the Ombudsman.
Thank you, Ombudsman. Thank you very much, my brother. When they defend people the way they accuse of high crimes like treason, and if they do that, why, for example, in the ongoing treason trial, you see the 8th accused not get lawyer? If una job now for provide legal services to people who can't afford it, why are you not doing it in this case?
Well, first of all, legal aid board, we not just go to court, we take person case. The cases they go to court, what they take, now the one the way they behind bars and we want legal aid. But especially when it comes to cases like treason and some others. For this treason trial, now we virtually they carry the court martial legal aid board. Now we get the largest number of clients, now the court martial. But for the private individuals who are not soldiers, they have never come across for us for legal aid.
Okay, so they need for ask now.
They need for us, they need for fill forms. Okay. They know how for access we. Okay. They know say we teams, then they go to the jails. The funny thing about treason is, of course, now a set of people where they try for overthrow any government in power and then catch them. I make treason trial, they come up. Or there's an allegation that then they try for do that. So invariably in Sierra Leone, the trend is they prefer some of the lawyers who maybe belong to some political parties, etc., etc. And you don't force lawyers on people. In self way, they cross-examine so. In no end, if you're not able for cancer, if you fumble them for able, for car across to legal aid. Yeah. So if you force lawyer upon person, then go find them guilty. You know, go talk say that you make the person go jail. Correct. So the scheme doesn't operate like that.
Agreements need for day. If once the service available, he seek the service and then go make able to have. Professor, it's back. I think people still ask this question on data. So maybe I want to expand the question for say, while we not get the baseline data, as part of the task force in job, whose plan the way we get for make sure say we go collect, track, and publish credible data?
Yes, thank you very much, Minister. I mean, in what you want to do for the next couple of weeks, I clearly say, one, make sure say we get baseline data. And very important, as I say, we colleagues from the CDC, they come for Andrew before make sure Lord will study the magnitude of the problem. But as a country, this task force is just like 1 month old. We get data ready from the recoveries from Ministry of Social Welfare, we recover. Then we get some data from the psychiatric home. Those are now the only 2 institutions that they who know. This man, my colleague here say Benghazi. So I sure say we get many of them can place them. So we don't do Tinana for make sure say we identify all them private side, them, we work with them, get the baseline data, and get credible data for this country where we will make informed decisions as a country. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, now I think we get about 10, 12 more minutes, so I'll try to take 1 more round of questions. But this round, priority to females. We not get woman ask question yet. So if we get woman now, I already asked question. Oh yeah. Oh yes. Me and you. So now me you know. Now they close the press conference. No worry. You ask, okay, man. Any other woman? Let's see. No, I say woman, but then they say woman. So okay, 2. Thank you. Any other woman? All right, I give you the chance, civil society man, for being number 3. This time we'll just take 3 because we'll run out of time. Sorry. 3. Yes.
Good afternoon. My
Yes.
name is David Aspen Solomon. I'm a reporter for Rise Radio. Mr. Ombudsman, we be the talk about confidence and all. So I want to know which measures they want to take for ensure, say, the citizens can get active access to justice and protections, and even the confidence we they talk about. So how waiting I don't put in place for medical and citizens that they get confidence in honor. Thank you.
Thank you. Number 2. You're the kind of man and voice no more. This. So the newspaper themselves are the first one to follow and they send female reporters for can cover the press conference because I will give preference and priorities to females all the time when I know that. Go ahead.
Good afternoon. My name is Famous Sise from Public Review newspaper. This they go to the Ombudsman. I just want to know if you get any data on complaints they receive and how una don't work towards them complaints then they to a logical conclusion. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Solid question right there. Thank you. Yes, sir.
Thank you very much.
Use the mic.
Mr. Chairman, this question about the office of the Ombudsman. There is a letter from Sierra Leone Health Service Commission, and that letter was copied to your office, and that letter was copied to my organization. I want to ask you this question. What is the relationship between your office and the office of the Anti-Corruption Commission?
All right, thank you very much. So this round Ombudsman I get this round. So do for we sharp. How na they build trust, when I get data on complaints and the action they do, and that letter, what's not the relationship between UNA and ACC? Go on. Yes. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Minister. Thank you to the those who asked questions. Now, for we say we priority now for ensure that the public get confidence or continue to get confidence in the office of the Ombudsman, which we don't do. Now, one of the hallmarks of the operation confidentiality. What I mean confidentiality, the thing they do, we know they publicize and so on social media because they involve sensitive issues. You understand? So now between we, the complainant, and the respondent, the people that we can complain. So we not can expose anything there, so people they know they know. So, but the fact say now we don't try for advertise, say the office day, number 1. Number 2, we don't begin involving ourselves into sensitive matters, and those matters after the investigations are concluded, we produce their report then so that people then go see them. Number 3, if you go at least in over 30 to 45% of all the MDAs in this country, then go assure you say they have one way or the other don't receive assistance from the office of the Ombudsman, either when they come with a complaint or when they come with issue where the complaints need referral and other things. So we continue for project ourselves as that institution where people for trust and continue for rely on. And somebody also say, waiting at the data for we complaints that would receive. Now, please listen to this for information purposes. So let's take now from 2019, at least now then data they are get now. So from 2019, we receive about 333 complaints. We refer 77 of them complaint then to the institutions that were then necessary. So how does this come about? We mandate. So not all complaints the Ombudsman mandate cover. So if then complaint they're not under our mandate, we can refer to, for example, Legal Aid Board, we can refer to Human Rights Commission, we can refer to Anti-Corruption Commission, we can refer even to the AG's office. So that's it. And How many cases there will get under investigation during that period? It is 89. And how many cases will conclude for that year? Now 167. So let's take to 2022, because 2023 there was no ombudsman. I was appointed in the end of 2023. So for 2022, we get 898 cases which were complaints that were sent to the office of the ombudsman. Among that, we referred 263 cases which do not fall under the office of the ombudsman. So like I be saying in the beginning, certain cases then they way legal aid, not the Obo handle, now we did the Senate to. Then get we not to the mandates, now we mandate. We have get we now we mandate, if then case then can. Not today with the Senate. And that case then we get the one that we then do under current investigation, we get 228 who still the investigation or investigations are continuing. And we close, that is the case that will done pata, the one that will conclude, the one that will help for me to restore them at their position, the one that will make them take administrative actions, and then the cases that will conclude, it was 407 cases. So far, you were asking for data. There is a lot from 2019 to 2022. We have all those data. I don't want to belabor the point on that. So, lastly, the person say, what is the relationship between the Ombudsman's office and the ACC? Now, I remember quietly na complaint. So we have opened an investigation. So we've sent the complaint. You where they send you complaint to the office of the ombudsman, or you walk into the office of the ombudsman for make complaint. What do? If you are not educated, we will make sure say somebody take down you complaint, you write them down, you sign and say that you complain. Then if you educated, we will ask you for do a written complaint. You send them to the office of the ombudsman. We they take that complaint we send them to the person where you don't complain or the institution. So what we do, we just do a cover letter. Say we don't receive this complaint from Mr. X. Okay. Like recently, because of time. Yes. Okay. Wrap it up. Yes. So waiting at the relationship we'll get between we and ACC. Now we get a pending, or we get a current or existing MOU, memorandum of understanding, between ACC and the office of the ombudsman. So there are maladministrations or injustices where apparent corruption. Abuse of office, for instance. Okay. So if those things are happening and we have taken the administrative part, we go refer the corruption part to anti-corruption. So that's the synergy we get with anti-corruption.
Thank you so much. I'm glad to see we did get a session today. I just want to make sure I do justice to that word in question in the time that we get. In question about whether within a we on role for compel ECSL for provide information or no information. President Biodon been very categorical from the beginning. We know they interfere in the operations of ECSL. They're an independent institution. We committed 100% to the tripartite process, and we own obligation as a government. We meet the obligation without question. In fact, in the past 2 weeks, we did all across the country for bring citizens there up to speed as part of that process day, led in part by governments, the opposition, and with international partners. Now, question about whose information, whose data. Salon get laws. The laws are very clear on how you get access to certain information. And Salon also get laws. If you get particular issues with particular institution where you think so you get rights to that information there from that institution there, you just seek the laws and compel the institution. I know say some lawyer don't write and things like that, and we follow the rule of law. We till we no go do, we till we no ever get for do. Now for interfere in the operations and for give directions to an independent state institution. And I record the President be very proud of, and I record we intend or maintain. I thank you. I hope they answer your question. On that very high note today, I want to take this opportunity for tell plenty thank you on the confidence. I think he answered small about the confidence issue, but you want to take 30 seconds maybe. Okay, because I can also like for make sure say we start on time and end on time, because I think commitment to time not to just how you start, it's also how you end. So I really like for respect una all una tell me commitments na that I get everybody here from 2 o'clock to 3:30. I have you seated in time, and we are on time. So I want to take this opportunity to tell thank you to all we partners them. With the app we follow, we go live across the country. All the community radio stations, them, the TV radio stations, them. I have to congratulate AYV. I know say they just make into DSTV in Nigeria. I have to congratulate all the journalists there as well on World Press Freedom Day. I have to tell plenty thank you to my panelists, them, Professor Foday Sahr, for your outstanding leadership in this fight against Kush. And I know say the people of Salone, they continue for listening for more updates. I have to tell you thank you, Auntie Fatmata, Carlton, Hanciles, for your leadership of Legal Aid Board. And for tell me colleague and brother, the Ombudsman, the lawyer Tejan Jah, for your leadership as well, and for the work we do. Until we meet again next week for another edition of the Government's Press Conference, and for tell una way they come all the time. Thank you and assalamu alaikum.